investing in sports facilities, because the uptake will be higher. We'll have sports academies. But currently, even if you are to open a sports academy, how many children believe that sports will pay? How many have we seen sports pay? In 10 sports people, only one, or sometimes none, comes out successful. We need a comprehensive reward system. Honorable Speaker, I listened to the Honorable Member of Pogori saying some people are criticizing the president. We cannot criticize the president. At the moment where we were hosting such a big tournament, the president had no other option. He had to inspire the boys. And we saw the fruits. But Kenya, being as politicized as it is, the moment it comes from that angle, the other half will always politicize it. And that is why we have to have it in a formal way that doesn't have to put any political leader at a point where he has to bring it, and therefore it is misconstrued to be a political gimmick. Honorable Speaker, politicization, of course, in sport has been used as a tool in this country. And that is because we don't have proper guidelines that ensure that sport is properly guided, sports is properly trained. While we motivate those in our football, what happens to the athletes? What happens to the volleyballers? What happens to the swimmers? It is that lack of consistency that will always let others feel that they are marginalized, that some talents are marginalized. Honorable Speaker, this country has enough resources to reward our sports people. Any discussion away from that we do not have resources, is false. If we are to put all the resources that are misused in this country to start sports academies, right from primary schools, secondary schools, we will save millions of young people. These are young people who, once they become international elite sports persons, will bring a lot of foreign exchange into this country. This is an industry that a country like Kenya can invest in, because the results are open to be seen by all. We have our sports persons being bought by the Qataris because we are not doing our part. And as legislators, we need to stand up and protect the youths by ensuring that we provide the systems that protect them. That Honorable Gusia kindly have this be upgraded to be coming to this floor as a bill, so that once it is passed, we will have our sports persons in every financial year being budgeted for. The estimates will be there, and our youths will know, once they represent this country, they will also have something to be proud of. You can never be proud of a country that does not feed you. We need to protect them, provide opportunities for them, and ensure they are able also to avoid proper living standards, just like those of their classmates who excelled in academics. Honorable Speaker, I'll finish there, and I thank Honorable Ngusia for this motion. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The Honorable Beatrice Kemei, member for Kericho County.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to be able to support this motion. by Honorable CNN about the formulation of a reward scheme for accomplishments by sports persons.
Sporty TV YouTube promo, 10 seconds, action.
Okay, we got the best live football and for free.
And not just the best matches, we've got top.
Scheme being just a motion, it should be upgraded and translated into a bill. Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Member for Kericho, let me disrupt you very slightly to welcome students seated in the public gallery this morning from Kitengela International School, Kajiado East Constituency, Kajiado County. You are welcome to the National Assembly to observe the proceedings of the House, and while you debate, please take the opportunity to invite them or to appreciate them.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I want to most sincerely welcome the students from Kitengela International School. And I want to believe, Honorable Speaker, that it is very timely for the students to listen to the sports so that when they are in school, they will learn that apart from the academic side, we also have the co-curriculum activities, and I want to encourage them to participate in the same, and as much as they learn many other things, they participate in co-curriculum activities. I'm sure they will even go beyond Kenya. They will be part of the international people will be able to celebrate. So once more, welcome to Parliament. Learn and follow the proceedings, and yearn to be one of the members of Parliament from your areas or from your constituencies and counties. Welcome once more. Honorable Speaker, on the onset, I want to say that sports are very, very important, as it is stated very clearly. It is mainly participated by the young people. And these young people love sport. Not only the young people, all of us love sport. And that is why most of the time, when we have the international competitions, we are all fixed and skewed to the TV. Everybody wants to watch. You see people standing and shouting. You may not even know who are young and who are not. So sports play a very important role in our lives, in our families, in our country. And when I look at many of our members who participate in sports, especially when we also have our own sports, you'll realize that even the same CNN is one of them, and that is why he's so slim. And I also believe it is out of that he's even well groomed. So we learn so much from sports. Honorable Speaker, looking at these sporting activities in Kenya, many of our young men and women, those who have gone to international competitions, they have whatever little they earn from there, it has supported their families. Noting that most of these young people come from humble background. I know of, and some of them, like Beatrice, who has built a house for their parents. She comes from Kericho, particularly Kipkelion. She's built a very nice house for the parents. So if they are even now supported with what CNN has said here, financial motivation and financial reward, I am sure they will do more than expected. Noting that these are young people, I also feel that it is one of the areas of their concern. It can be like employment. Now that they can be employed as a sport person, they earn something. If they can get something like a stipend, and then the rewards, I know many of them will choose to be sport people, even with the CPC that we have at the moment. So, Honorable Speaker, apart from that, I would say that before we talk about the international competitions, we need to encourage and motivate our sport people, the athletes, those who play ball games, even at a tender age, and even in their counties, and even from the constituencies. because before going to the international, for international competitions, they start from within. So we need to motivate them, Honorable Speaker, and in one of the ways of motivating is to have their environment, the training camps, to be conducive and ready for good use. Honorable Speaker, most of these training camps are private. And in those training camps, I must confess that these young people are actually living in conditions that are wanting. They don't have even beddings, blankets, mattresses, and sad for us, even girls, in most of the time, may not have the sanitary towels. And in Kericho, when I visit those training camps, I actually carry sanitary towels for them. And they confide that they are in dire need of the same. Not to forget issues of food. And if they don't eat well, they may not be very strong to train well. I also want to say the sporting gear is what they also need to have. The shoes, the clothes, and all that is required. I also want to mention that some of our girls or women in these training camps are exploited sexually. It is very unfair, very unfortunate, and if there's anything that we can do, we need to do it now. So, and especially those who are their coaches. It is not that if they are supposed to be trained and trained well, they are supposed to be exploited. It is very unfair. And maybe to add on that, Honorable Speaker, I also feel sad that some of these women are actually suffering from psychological issues. Those who are married, their husbands actually beat them. That is sexual and gender-based violence. And therefore, I wish that we can, as much as we are concerned with rewarding them, they also need support. We need to listen to them. They need actually to be supported in a way that they can confide. We need counselors for them. I also want to say that they need to be trained. That is, and in terms of how to use the money that they get, financial management.
The Honorable Jalango.
The allegations that the Honorable Member is putting up there are very
First of all, what is out of order, Honorable Jalango?
No, she does not.
I'm just being very magnanimous.
She does not have evidences about these things. You can't blanketly just name and say coaches and being abused. Those are things you can't just say unless you also have evidence. And also now when you bring in GBV, gender-based violence on these athletes, at least let's just stick to what we are saying, and unless you have evidence on some of the things and allegations you're saying, some of our coaches might feel very bad after this beautiful performance in Tokyo. Thank you. So bring evidence.
Well, you're raising a point of order on being, truthful, factual. So are you trying to put her on spot to be able also to give examples of people who have been sexually abused by a coach or maybe talented people, maybe runners who have also gone through GBV? Are you putting her on the spot to be able to give evidence?
Yes, Madam Speaker, that she'll be able to give such evidence on what she's saying and stick to the bill for now and give evidence where necessary so that the culprits can also be followed, because when you talk about sexual abuse, when you talk about gender-based violence, those are just not allegations you just throw around. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
But even as I get it for record purposes, I would like to tell you that I was listening to her, and she's very good in doing her research on matters that she presents in this house. And earlier, we have also debated in this house concerning the tea estates in Kericho and matters of GBV. So I believe that she'll not have a challenge. And for that reason, I'm going to add another 2 minutes so that as you present this, you take the challenge that you have been given by the Honorable Jalas so that you can give evidence. But that is based on standing order 91. Honorable Jalango did not give us a standing order. 91, a member shall be responsible for accuracy of all facts which the member alleges to be true and may be required to substantiate at any such facts instantly. So I think you proceed and make him comfortable by giving him some situations where GBV has happened to our experts, our talented people.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I want to tell my good brother and friend that it should be prior to the information of what is happening in this country. The Deputy Speaker was here. She spoke to the same. Even Agnes Tirop, she was tapped. So I believe you should be knowing what is happening. It is not out of nothing. And Honorable Speaker, you are aware that some of these people who go through sexual and gender-based violence because of stigma may not come out. They confide to us, and therefore I have information. I'm not talking out of nothing, but I have information. So please do your research unless you He didn't even mention the standing order, so he was just pointing on nothing. So allow me to continue, Honorable Speaker, on the same, noting that the financial reward is very important, the 6 million. I don't know how you arrived at the 6 million. If it were me, I would say we could even go more. The 4 million for the gold medalist, 3 million for silver. This is great, 2 million. This one is a motivation to the athletes. Apart from that, we are also talking about the medical cover, and especially after retirement. You know, they cannot be athletes for life. They need this medical cover, they need protection, the social protection. And I'm so happy with the president, knowing that when we had the sports here, the ball games here, he promised our young people the housing. So if we can also go for the same, it will serve us well. So I want to support this bill and say, may it be changed or may it be improved into this motion and may it be improved into a bill. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Member for Kericho. The Honorable Dorothy Ikiara, nominated member.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I too would wish to join my colleagues and thank Honorable CNN for bringing this very important and timely debate to this House. Honorable Speaker, this debate is coming at a time when we are celebrating our heroes and heroines who brought glory and honor to our country from Tokyo just recently. Honorable Speaker, winning the 11 medals and gold medals also cumulatively is not something that we should not celebrate, and we should celebrate them, Honorable Speaker, and even reward them. As I say this, Honorable Speaker, I too would wish to thank His Excellency the President of the Republic of this country, because he has shown the way. When Tanya was playing in Kasarani, he took his time to go watch the march, and encourage them. Motivation, Honorable Speaker, and this is what lacks. I dare say, Honorable Speaker, that a majority of our Kenyan population are talented people. The only thing that we lack, Honorable Speaker, is we start encouraging them at a very late stage in life. Honorable Speaker, I want to cite, having been a teacher, I have taught in the lowest level. I've taught in class 1. Honorable Speaker, as a teacher, I would identify a threat from a very young age. I would also identify a child who is talented in drama. I would identify a child who would be a footballer. But because of the nature of the way our education was tailored, Honorable Speaker, and even the funding, and even lack of motivation, all these talents would just go to the drains, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I'm saying I am very happy today because His Excellency the President stuck with the competence-based curriculum. Honorable Speaker, today we call it CBE. And this CBE is giving our Kenyan children an opportunity because the education system itself is going in 3 pathways. And one of the pathways is heart and talents, Honorable Speaker. And when I researched to a member here saying they went and did our sports check to our children in grade 9, and they realized that a majority of the children are saying they want to do STEM. And the reason is very clear, Honorable Speaker. It is because even we as parents, when a child comes and tells you, I want to go and play football, every day you tell them, no, I want you to take your books and go and read. When a child comes and says, I want to go for drama, some parents decline. When a child wants to be a singer, you tell them you cannot be a DJ in my house. Honorable Speaker, let us start nurturing talents at an early age. Let us encourage our children, even in our own houses. If you identify that your child is talented in one way or the other, let us encourage them so that in future we cannot struggle with identifying who can do what. Honorable Speaker, as we speak about a formulation policy of rewarding accomplishments of those that represent Kenya internationally, I want to draw back and say we must start encouraging those at the grassroots. I want to see Honorable Rahim Daudi today encouraging and motivating and rewarding all the football teams in North Imenti. I want to see every other MP today rewarding and motivating all the talented girls who are playing volleyball, all the runners, all the other sectoral games that are played in our constituencies. And the only way this can happen, Honorable Speaker, I know in the NGCDF, the funding for sports was removed. It is the high time that this House rises to the occasion and demands a return of the sports fund so that we can be able to walk the talk, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to say it is very unfortunate. Even us seated here in Parliament today, we are talking about the sportsmen and women. Members of Parliament come to this House. They are the ones who formulate these laws and the policies that we are talking about. But Honorable Speaker, we don't even think of these great men and women who sat in this House to formulate laws and policies for the others. Where do they go after leaving this House? So as we think of going back to look for the champions, and I really support this so much, Honorable Speaker. I support in every way possible I want to say this policy must be formulated as early as yesterday, so that we don't talk about something that we'll discuss in this house, and years later, we still come here to discuss the same item. Honorable Speaker, I want to say, Honorable Ngushia tried. He was attempting to give the amount that we can give as reward, 6 million, which is very little. We should have a proper bill so that if we can't put all this money there, so that even successive governments, the day our beloved president will not be the president of the Republic of Kenya, this motivation, this amount of money that will be documented will always benefit the sportsmen and women who fly.
30 years on the young people, the talents of the people, the nation rose. We saw the peace. We saw the country getting excited. We saw the love among Kenyans. I'm trying to say it is time we think as this house and put proper laws that is going to protect the athletes, it's going to protect sports, it's going to give attention. The way we give attention to affordable housing, the way we give attention to SHA, the way we give attention to the other disciplinary agriculture, we need to give attention to sports. It is going to grow our talent. It is going to give a pathway to our children. We are going to grow. I come from a city, we call ourselves the city of champions. If you come to Eldoret today, you'll be able to witness mega structures, business entities, business youths and blocks, and you'll be told this is for this athlete, this is for this particular athlete, this is for Eliud Kipchoge, this is for so and so. I mean, the economy in Eldoret is critically 70% run by the sportsmen and women. And if it is happening in Eldoret, why can it not happen in Kisii? Why can it happen in Nyanza? I saw a lady from Oma Bay. She won gold, and my good friend Karoli Modi is here. I saw them going to celebrate Odera. I mean, besides the fishing economy, they are now venturing into sport economy. So, Wanangusha, we want to say thank you. This is a time, this house, we need to look at our budget when we are discussing our budgetary plans. What are we giving to sports? Because it's the only thing that we have that can position us beside the other tourism of animals there. Lastly, to the ministry. As I've said, as I condole with the family, it is unfortunate, Madam Speaker, that up to now, I don't know whether the PS, whether the CS are aware that they have lost one athlete who has one time gave glory to Kenya. None has ever discussed, even to pay tribute to the family, leave alone to support the family when they are in need now. Not even a shilling. I've just come from conducting a fundraiser on Saturday where we were able to get whatever we get to support the family, comfort them. I mean, when they win, you want to celebrate them. When they are mourning, we don't understand with them. I want to condemn this one and call upon the ministry to take decisive action, even to pay the family visit and go and condole them, to show, to demonstrate that indeed what they are running in their ministry is all about the athletes, other than their own interest. And lastly, the other day we saw the sharing of the sports academies. And I want to say that I'm sorry to speak about this. And the person who was in charge, the minister that was there, apparently comes from our region, where he knows very well our main agenda and the talent of our people is sports. We saw the way the sports academy were being distributed so skewedly. I mean, sometimes we take this local politics to a level that we even want to interfere with our positions when we are given position of trust. The way those sports academy were distributed, one county is taking everything, a county like Wasingishu, only given one, just by value, only one just to cover. And we know that if there is anything, if you come to Eldoret today in the morning, every morning, all our children are on the roads. Can we for sometimes put resources where it is deserved? When you are given a position, Tafadhali, you should not use your political agenda, your whole plans, your whole thinking about future. Make sure that you run the country together so that together we share this. With that much I've said, Mr. Speaker, now that the Speaker has changed, I want to say Paul Lesana to the family, and I want to ask this house, whenever you get an opportunity, let us console with that family. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker.
The Honorable Adan Keinan is recognized to contribute.
Mr. Speaker, thank you. Mr. Speaker, this is a very important motion, but it's good we are honest with ourselves. Do we need a motion urging the government at this time? Mr. Speaker, when I was first elected, I want to remind my good friend CNN here. We are past this stage. Under the old constitution, when the House business used to be dominated by senior ministers, and when the democratic space actually was limited to the whims of the executive, we used to have similar motions urging the government. This is good. It's too populist. It's extremely good. The catches, it creates a bit of information to the public. As much as I really want to commend my good brother here, the content is extremely good. It's encouraging. I want to urge you, and it's almost certain, by the grace of God, that we are going to pass this. This is one stage of this. Bring the bill, amend the relevant statutes, walk the talk, so that these great people, sportsmen and women, benefit from the generosity of this great nation. That's an advice to my brother here. Because urging the government, we have been urging the government, nothing happens. We have been singing this, bring the bill. I brought that bill on conferment of national honors, which used to be a privilege for the politically correct. Today, you as a member of parliament, you have been honored because of the role that you do. And I know that my good friend, Dinu Yoro, was honored the other day. That was my bill. And I did it under very difficult circumstances because one morning, somebody decided to honor all his siblings and friends and whatever. I didn't sleep that night in 2010, 2012. I brought that bill, it worked. Everybody benefits. This is one thing that you need to do. So this is good. Let's come back to the substance. Mr. Speaker, at times, I find myself in a very awkward position. This country is privileged. We have everything. We have created an international niche as a country of great sportsmen and women. Just like some few years back, we were known as a country of coffee and tea. That is gone. It is no longer the menu of the international community. If anything, our tea is coffee, and our tea and coffee is used for blending other coffee and teas produced in other parts of the world. Today, if you go to Ireland, if you go to UK, our coffee is used to blend with other coffees, which means we have lost the brand. These sportsmen and women, these talents are God-given talent. Where my friend comes from, DK, and where I've also had the privilege of having gone to school, and I was there for over 6 years, the opportunity is there. The atmosphere is pregnant with individuals who are prepared to excel in this. But unfortunately, Mr. Speaker, we have only remained a paper tiger. The other day, my friends from the lake were celebrating the first, what are the full names? What was her name? Odira. And some of them were saying this is a product of the broad-based government. But a product of the broad-based. I totally agree. We need to celebrate. But how many other people from that region have the talent and yet they have not been appreciated, they have not been given the opportunity? Isn't it the high time that we as the leadership, Kenya is a brand. A brand, and Mr. Speaker, we have close to 186 countries. Why do we have countries with unique international brand? What's our brand as a country? Our brand has been coffee, tea, it's lost. Our brand now is sportsmen and women. Can we take this opportunity, Mr. Speaker, and expand that so that Kenyans, and in fact it doesn't cost a lot. We have wasted a lot of resources over the years. I see a number of sessional papers. Those are useless papers. Useless papers developed by some Madrians in the ministries, tailor-made for the whims of that particular moment. We need to think out of the box. So I want to urge you, you have brought this. These things are very good. What are the benefits? International brand, employment opportunities, you know it right now. There's serious underemployment in this country. What is better than allowing the youth to critically appreciate their talents? Of foreign exchange, Mr. Speaker. My friend here, MP, my MP, that's where I've gone to school, MP for Moi University. And very soon we'll hold you to account why you have allowed Moi University to go down the drain. Very soon we'll come, all of us. We are regrouping. Products of Moi University, we are coming to your village. and we'll hold you to account why you have allowed Moi University to go down the drain under your leadership. So get ready. Our numbers are thousands right now, hundreds of thousands. They are coming. And if you don't do something, we will ask you, I don't want to go to the next level. So be on the side. Mr. Speaker, we are coming. No. Before we say 2 term, you must demonstrate leadership that Moi University is back to its former position, because that is a great university. Mr. Speaker, the other bits, we are struggling. We are running to IMF. We are running to World Bank. We are running to African Development Bank. And yet we have our own local banks in the name of talents, in the name of good sportsmen and women. So what we require is special funds. These funds have been there. Are they serving the purpose? These are the things that you need to inquire into. Mr. Speaker, in addition to the physical health, a healthy nation is, what do we say? A working nation. That's why today, I'm sure in the morning you are somewhere in the field. I'm sure in the morning I beat a bit of press up here and there. Simply because as I age, there are certain things that you also need to avoid. Isn't it this natural? They are there everywhere. It is in the genes of particular communities. And you know, maybe they discovered this. There's something called Lamitic myth, I think you must have heard. Once upon a time when we were trying to migrate, and you know, in that migration, people were confused. Some came from the Congo forest, some others came from the Balgazal region. In the process of trying to acquire and shape our final district, and before we identify ourselves as part of this sovereign Republic of Kenya, each community came with its own talents. Me as a cable adder, Mr. Speaker, that is a distinctive feature of a person from the Hamaite community, from the Kushaite community. Somebody else from DK and where they come from, they have been given these talents. Where you come from, you have skills in fishing. Somebody else has skills in where my good friend Din Yoro comes from. You know also where they specialize in. All these combined is what is supposed to project that image of the Premier Republic of Kenya. And therefore, it's my responsibility, Mr. Speaker, with that distinctive background as a cable ladder, to infuse that into national culture and pride myself as a cable ladder and say, look, this is the Kenyan brand. This is the way we are supposed to promote Kenya. This is the way we are supposed to project Kenya. This is the way we are supposed to protect Kenya. And that is the image of the sovereign Republic of Kenya, Mr. Speaker. And that's what gives us a national identity, and that's what's supposed to give us an international brand. Mr. Speaker, unfortunately right now, each one of us has become an inward-looking village men and women. Go back there. I come from this community. This is my village. How are we going to excel? Yesterday we had a function, we were told, and you know this, in 1968, Kenya was a donor nation to the newly independent Botswana, to South Korea. We have still stuck there. Every morning politics. The media watch with politics. When are we going to stand up and say Kenya needs to move from where we are as a country that has stagnated with a dirty politics, Mr. Speaker? Dirty ethnic regional-based politics to a country that looks to the future of this great generation. We have been interested. We talk about the Gen Zs. This facility, Mr. CNN, don't urge the government. Come with a bill. Think out of the box. Provide the modus operandi on how to fund, how to support them, and that is what is going to assist. Mr. Speaker, the other benefits is the cultural and sports diplomacy, Mr. Speaker. You know, for the first time in the history of this country, we have a written foreign policy, Mr. Speaker. And one pillar is cultural and sports diplomacy, Mr. Speaker. How are you going to attain this without a proper platform? Without a proper, appreciation of those who are already there. Mr. Speaker, Kenya is a responsible, and this is the word, a responsible member of the international community, Mr. Speaker. And we have paid the price. That's why we have excelled in one of the things that we have done. So I want to urge you, this is very good. It's really, we're already late. I want to urge you, come with a bill. I want to also commend you. Don't wait for...
We'll give Honorable Kenan 1 minute to conclude.
At times, Mr. Speaker, we are disadvantaged because we know a lot. Mr. Speaker, as I conclude, I want to say this. This is not supposed to be the house of lamentation. This is supposed to be the house of action. This is not supposed to be the house of lamentation. Mr. Speaker, the budget making process is under our ability. The legislative framework is under our mandate. We oversight. Now that you have brought this CNN, and you will go in history. You will go in history, because once we walk the talk this, I'm sure Kenyans will appreciate you. Look, go back to the entire sporting legislative infrastructure, the funding infrastructure, the modus operandi, and let's give, for the first time, an approach, financial, legislative, legal, moral support that befits the support a responsible state is supposed to give to its struggling sportsmen and women. I thank you and I support.
The Honorable David Kiplagat, MP Soy.
Thank you for that compliments. Honorable Speaker, allow me to contribute to this very important motion that talks about how to look after our athletes who have actually made this country to have a name. And thank you, Honorable CNN, for coming up with such a motion. It is indeed time that as a country, we have a policy through an act of parliament that rewards our athletes. Our athletes have done a lot in terms of marketing this country, in terms of giving this country a name, in terms of even bringing in cohesion among the various spheres of our communities. You saw recently during the CHAN championships, when all the leadership, led by none other the president himself, was able to support Harambee Stars, and all Kenyans from all walks of life, young, old, were able to rally behind our football team. And I dare say, if you saw the winners, that is Morocco, whom we had defeated, chances are we could have also become the winners of that cup by just giving that morale, by just giving them a compensation package when they do well. So it follows that if we are going to universally implement the same in all spheres of our sports activities, athletes, football, rugby, all those sports that have made a name for the country, it is high time we have a policy so that those men and women who have excelled really know that their country loves them, and for the entire of their life, they can stay comfortably in this country. Imagine a country where our sports have made a name, but we don't have a comprehensive medical cover for our athletes, for our sportsmen, so that what Honorable CPA was talking about, we lost an athlete who had made a name in this country. But because of time, you know, when time is a factor in the remembrance, in remembering these athletes. Because of time, nobody remembers. We have even lost a former member of parliament for Mkwen, Elijah Lagat, who was an accomplished marathoner. He even won, was it Chicago Marathon, or which I will check, I don't want to be misquoted. Boston Marathon. You can imagine. And right now, I can tell you, that honorable member of parliament, he has no comprehensive package for medical scheme. Even as members, you remember the other day, we were talking about how to make sure that in case you don't make it back, at least you can go and stay at home with dignity, because you will have a comprehensive medical scheme. There is nothing in life that can count more than having a well medical cover. So those are areas we can start with. We have sports tourism. I remember the Camarine Stadium in Elgeyo Marakwet. All the sportsmen in this world who are athletes, they come there. They think that if they run there, they can be able to win. I remember there was an athlete, a famous one in Britain. He used to come and train there. Even Usain Bolt has come there. So, if we can be able to capture the sports tourism and be able to use the funds, just like the sports fund, be able to use the funds to compensate and to make the life of our athletes be better, so that we don't react by chit-chat reaction. You know, when there's something, all of us, we balloon through it, and when that event goes, it is forgotten. We need to be very systematic. So we really support this motion, that it has to be taken into an extra length, where now we come up with a policy, we come up with a legal framework on how our athletes are going to be compensated, are going to make sure that as they stay in this, you can remember Kiptum. Kiptum died, he didn't even have a house. We had to build a house within 2 weeks. I remember Honorable Professor Barto here. We had, everybody had to run around to make sure that at least Kiptum has a house. But nobody right now knows how is the family doing. Okay, we built them a house. So how is the family doing? I'm being told it is doing badly because we made that event for the cameras and things like that, and then they are forgotten. But we are not accusing anybody. We are just saying, let us have a framework, let us have a legal framework in which our athletes who have made a name for this country are going to be recognized. And we really want to thank the president. He is #1 sportsman in this country. I can see what is happening to the boy child in the last Tokyo championships. Every winner for gold was a lady. Every winner for gold was a lady. I remember the 90s. The 90s, the boys were doing very well. But now, even attaining the 2,000 for the boy child in the Tokyo became an adult. What has happened? It seems there is something that we are not investing in this country to make sure we can be able to train talent, we can be able to preserve our land, we can be able to make sure that we develop that talent until we make sure that, in fact, there used to be steeplechases. You remember the 3,000 steeplechases? We used to know, even when you sleep and wake up, Kenyans are going to win. But nowadays, all the meanderings are coming and people from Ethiopia, from where are winning finally. So we also need to protect the boy child when it comes to these athletes, because what I saw in the Tokyo is anything to go by. It is the culture who gave us the name. Where are our boys? Where are our boys? And lastly, our athletes, they get a lot of revenue when they go and run professionally outside there. But we don't have a system that we can be able to train the young men and women so that they know when they get that money, how are they going to invest so that they can be able to eat on their investment. Because you can imagine,